Hey, Stoic warriors, they lied to you. They told you discipline was just willpower, like all you needed was a tougher grip on your own habits. But here's the truth. Real discipline shows up when you finally see who you could be and realize how far you've drifted from that person. If you're here, you already know that feeling, the weight of potential you haven't touched, the sense that you've been moving through life on half power. It isn't sadness or drama, just the quiet pressure of something inside you that's been asleep for too long. Your own mind has turned into a guard, and you've stayed in the cell so long, you forgot you could walk out. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his reflections in comfort. He wrote them during disease, betrayal, and constant reminders that nothing is guaranteed. His lesson was simple. Whatever stands in your way can become your route forward. The same mind that keeps you restless at night can be the one that frees you in the morning. And while most people will be sleeping in tomorrow, imagining a better life, you'll be stepping into something far older and far tougher. 7 practices shaped by struggle and by people who rebuilt themselves when the world gave them nothing easy. These aren't soft ideas. They'll challenge the stories you hide behind and carve out a stronger version of you. And yes, there's a reason this begins at 5:30 a.m. That hour strips away excuses, noise, and the pressure of the world waking up. It's just you and the person you're becoming. Some of you will feel a spark reading this, like you're recognizing a part of yourself you forgot existed. Others will close the door and stay where things feel familiar, even if that familiarity is slowly draining them. Both responses are honest. This path isn't designed for everyone, only for those willing to confront their own patterns head-on. If you're ready to stop negotiating with your weaker impulses, if you're done making excuses sound reasonable, then step fully into this. Share it with someone who needs it. Leave one word for what you're ready to release, and don't skip ahead. Every rule matters, and you'll need all of them. Keep this line where you can see it. My mind is ready for revolution. Now let's move. The first practice is letting go of yesterday. Every morning you wake up carrying old regrets, abandoned dreams, and versions of yourself that never had a chance to form. Your mind turns into a storage room for memories you should have released long ago. The Stoics understood that time is your only true possession, yet you hand your mornings over to ghosts, old arguments, missed chances, relationships long gone. So this ritual is supposed to be sharp. Before your mind starts replaying the past, you cut its grip, not by denying it, but by refusing to let it run the day. The moment you're awake, stand. No settling in, no easing into the morning. Treat it like stepping out of a burning house, because holding on to yesterday always seems harmless until you notice the smoke in your lungs. That quick rise tells your brain the moment has changed. Then say it out loud, even if it feels strange. Yesterday is dead. I am not its ghost. It will feel unfamiliar, maybe even uncomfortable. That's what breaking free feels like. Your mind will fight back, throwing memories at you like debris. Let them land and fade. This isn't about chasing good feelings. It's about breaking a habit that keeps you anchored to old pain. We're taught to dissect the past endlessly, but sometimes the strongest move you can make is choosing not to revisit it. Keep practicing this reset, day after day, and eventually you'll feel something shift. That crack you notice isn't you falling apart, it's the old shell finally breaking. What comes through isn't empty positivity, it's real presence, untouched by yesterday's grip. Then comes the sovereign's declaration. Real power doesn't tiptoe in. Once you've cleared out yesterday, you claim the day with a clear, steady voice. Epictetus knew this well. His circumstances didn't define him because he refused to hand over control of his inner world. So you stand there, take up the space you usually shrink from, and say it plainly. I am the author of this day. If it feels awkward, that's expected. Anyone who has spent years living by others' expectations feels strange when they finally choose themselves. Your mind might laugh, asking who you think you are. Let it laugh. People often doubt themselves long before they rise into who they're meant to be. You don't wait for confidence to declare your direction. You declare your direction, and the confidence follows. Every tyrant in history understood one thing: power goes to the person bold enough to claim it. But you're not trying to rule anyone else. You're staging a quiet coup against the unruly mind that's been steering your life. That morning declaration is your rebellion, your peaceful shift from disorder to awareness. And when you say it tomorrow, something tilts in your favor. It's as if the universe stops treating you like background noise and finally registers you as the one driving the story. Not because you've earned it yet, but because you had the nerve to step forward. That's when the real earning begins. Then comes the hunger meditation. While the rest of the world drifts through another comfortable morning, you're choosing to remember what hunger actually feels like, not for food, but for life. The Stoics understood that comfort dulls the edge. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of almost everything, slept on the floor and fasted by choice. So he never forgot that hunger sharpens and comfort softens. So at 5:30 a.m., right after your declaration, you sit on the bare floor. Not your bed, not a cushioned chair, the cold, unforgiving ground. Let the discomfort hit you, that's the point. Close your eyes and picture the thing you crave at your core. Not some polished goal or inspiring dream, but the raw, almost primal pull towards something better than the half-alive routine you've settled into. Feel it heat up inside you. Let it burn away the false sense of good enough that's been keeping you tame. Most people meditate for calm. You're meditating to stir up a fight, the kind of internal battle that leads to real victories. Hunger is a signal. It's your edge. The hungry wolf hunts, the satisfied one sleeps. As you sit there, let that hunger speak. Not the needy whisper of wanting more, but the fierce, necessary growl that comes from deep inside the part of you society tried to quiet down. This isn't a cute visualization exercise. It's a revival. And tomorrow, when comfort invites you to stay in bed, that hunger will roar louder because you fed it intentionally. Next comes the mirror trial. At 5:30 a.m., that bathroom mirror isn't just a reflection, it's a courtroom, and you're playing every role. So you stand there, no phone, no distractions, just you staring back at you, and you lay out every truth you've been dodging. You said you'd change, you didn't. You said this time would be different, it wasn't. You had chances, you wasted them. And then, the moment the prosecution rests, you switch sides. You remind yourself that you've survived more than most people know. You've kept going when others would have collapsed. The point isn't to absolve yourself, it's to see the whole truth. The failures and the resilience, the cracks and the strength. The mirror trial ends in transformation, not judgment. And then comes the atomic decision. Right after the mirror trial, when you're at your most honest, you pick one task you'll complete today with absolute devotion. Something so small it almost feels silly. Make your bed flawlessly. Drink 8 glasses of water. Write a single paragraph. The thing itself doesn't matter. The promise does. For the next 24 hours, this tiny decision becomes sacred. Nothing interferes with it. You complete it, even if everything else goes sideways. This decision is how you prove your own word is iron, and when you keep that promise, something weak inside you starts to starve, the part that negotiates, delays, excuses, and settles. Each day you honor that one tiny oath, you get sharper, and that old softness fades. Finally, there's the death rehearsal. While most people wake up planning their schedule, you're going to quietly plan your death. Not in a dramatic way, but in a way that forces clarity. The Stoics saw death as the one advisor who never sugarcoats anything, the one perspective that cuts through all the noise. What is death but a transformation? Marcus Aurelius asked this not from comfort, but from plague-ravaged battlefields where death was a daily reality. He discovered that rehearsing death each day didn't make him morbid, it made him unstoppable. When you've already died in your mind, what's left to fear? At 5:30 a.m., after your atomic decision, lie back down, not to rest, but to die. Close your eyes and feel your last breath leave your body, your heart take its final beat, consciousness dissolving like sugar in rain. This is the death rehearsal, a daily psychological exercise that kills your fear before fear can kill your dreams. From that place of death, ask yourself what you left undone, what words went unspoken, what love unexpressed, what greatness unpursued. Feel the weight of these missed opportunities pressing down like cemetery dirt. This isn't motivation. It's the kind of devastation that makes you dangerous to mediocrity. And then comes the resurrection. Your eyes open, your breath returns, your heart keeps rhythm. You've seen the end without dying, tasted the consequences without losing the chance to act. You rise changed, freed from excuses, aware that "I don't have time" and "what will people think" are meaningless in the face of life's ultimate deadline. Tomorrow, when you perform this rehearsal, something ancient will awaken. Not motivation, not inspiration, but inevitability. The inevitability of death makes the necessity of life non-negotiable. You'll rise like someone given a terminal diagnosis and a cure simultaneously. Most people die at 25 and aren't buried until 75. You're dying every morning at 5:30 a.m., so you can live fully the rest of the day. Then comes the sacred rage. Anger, they said, is toxic, but the Stoics knew that properly channeled, it becomes fuel. At 5:30 a.m., you ignite that rage and aim it at everything standing between you and your potential. The sacred rage isn't about others. It's the fury of watching yourself accept less than you deserve and finally saying enough. Stand after the death rehearsal. Feel blood return to your limbs and summon the divine fury. Not petty irritation, but righteous force. Speak it aloud. I am furious at who I've been. I am violent with hunger for who I will become. This rage doesn't destroy. It constructs through demolition. Your drained relationships, stifling jobs, postponed dreams, all are met with the energy of transformation now. That rage becomes the power for your work, focus, and ambition. You're not angry at the world. You're angry at your own tolerance for mediocrity. The world wants you calm, comfortable, controlled. At 5:30 a.m., you are none of those things. You are a force of nature aimed at your potential. You may scare yourself, and that's the point. This is not anger, it's mastery. It makes you magnificent, better, legendary. You now hold 7 weapons of mass reconstruction, not concepts, but tactics for the war against your own weakness. Tomorrow at 5:30 a.m., you'll either use them or rationalize why they're too extreme. Both choices are perfect. Warriors and worriers get exactly what they deserve. The Stoics promised not happiness, but strength, the kind that makes happiness irrelevant, because you'll be too busy being magnificent. These rules don't fix you. You're not broken. You're just asleep. 5:30 a.m. is your wake-up call. Some will try once and quit. Others will commit. Discovering that discipline doesn't get easier, you get stronger. Pain doesn't decrease. Tolerance increases. The morning doesn't become less brutal. You become more dangerous. Share this if it lit a fire inside you. Subscribe if you're ready for uncomfortable truths. Comment with the rule that scares you most. It's the one you need most. Tomorrow at 5:30 a.m., 7 rules, 1 revolution. Your mind will either be your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. Choose.